Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay. Officially, it is not 2023 when we record this, but when you guys listen, it'll be 2023. So happy New Year's, everybody. Cannot believe that we made it this far. 2022 was
Oof.
wild, right? Oh my goodness. But
Mm-hmm.
today's episode, we really want to recap, reflect on all the good and some lows of 2022. Before we do that, I just wanted to say that our podcast is covers a variety of topics from faith, enneagram, being a third culture kid, navigating adulting, etc., and lots of brain dumps. And so, like I said, we're going to be reflecting on our just adulting life of 2022. But before we do that, hi, my name is Yehna.
Hi, I'm Jessie, and welcome to our eighth episode of At the
At the
Table.
table. Woohoo. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Actually, I think it's going to be our 10th.
Oh, our
Yeah,
10th.
we're like
Oops.
kind of going out of order, but it's okay.
It's
That's
all
not,
good.
we're all
Welcome
good.
to
We're
our
just,
10th episode then. We're just trying
anyway,
to be on top of our stuff
I
and
know.
record and
So that we're
keep
not
it in
drowning in our holiday
schedule.
season.
Exactly. Like we need to relax too. I mean, granted, this isn't something that I feel like is out. Like we're not stressed about the recording,
No,
having to record every week. Like it's something we look forward to.
right.
But we just want to not be on our computers spending an hour like when we've got to enjoy our
Right.
family and friends. So
Right. Exactly.
yes, Yana, this feels so weird because as much as the interview series has been so fun, like
Yeah.
having my two friends, I mean, I have been hosting these past 2 weeks, so it's been crazy for me.
Yeah.
But
I bet.
having them a part of like the podcast is so exciting. And it's weird being back with just you and
I
I. Do you
know.
feel that way? How do
I
you
know,
feel?
especially noting that we will be reflecting on just how we even got here is kind of
Man.
weird. So I love that we are doing this with kind of like a fresh perspective coming in from those two interviews, just been reflecting just outside of the podcast, just us
Hmm.
two. So
Hmm.
I'm excited to share
I
about and
mean,
even like
yeah.
think through and process as we're talking
Hmm.
about the
I
past
know.
year.
Because our brain has been just all over the place. Like, Yana just came back from Thanksgiving break. Like, I just had a crazy week.
Right. Oof.
But it just reminded me what you said. Like, a lot of the times I like to keep Snapchat, even though I don't use Snapchat anymore.
Same.
Really? Okay. Because
Yes.
I like to look at the memories from like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I keep getting memories from a year ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am in such a different headspace. I cannot even, like, I don't even remember this because this year has
Yeah.
just been so rich, so
Right.
full. And like you said, there's so much to reflect on. And I feel
Mm.
like there's more to come. Like, we almost need a part two just because, like, it isn't the end of the year. And I'm sure as
No.
we finally like check our brains check out, we're not in school anymore, like we have that break, we're probably going to have more to
Right.
share, right?
More to
So
share. Right.
but as of
Exactly.
now, we kind of broke it up into three different parts. Like we'll share a little bit
Hmm.
of our highlights, like our glows and our grows,
I love
our
that.
little highlight, what was awesome for us, something that we're like, let's not do that again.
Never,
We
ever
have a
again.
lot of those.
We'll make it concise.
It will make it brief. Obviously, we gotta share the glows, but and then something we're looking forward to next year, like 2023. It's just
Ooh,
so,
it's
whew,
so surreal,
it's so surreal.
especially since this, like you said, was such a growing and rich year. And
Yeah.
with now so many new tools in our toolbox,
Hmm.
now it's like application time. What is 2023 going to look like? So
Yeah.
lots to look
Oh yeah.
forward to.
I know. Like, I hate that. Like, oh, there's just so much that I'm like, what do I need? What do I really want to share? Like, what's this one? Like, if I had to only share two things, like, what would I share about this year? And I'm like, oh, I can't even choose. But
Yeah.
because I made just FYI like a long birthday post and I never make that. Like I never write paragraphs on my Instagram.
Instagram rejected some of it.
I know I had to like delete a bunch of stuff. That's how much like I was rambling. And so I think for me, like I'm already in that headspace. But for
Yeah.
you, Yana, like what was the highlight for you this year?
Mm,
What are you proud of that you
mm.
accomplished this year?
So I kind of reviewed this before I did it because sometimes I go on and on and on about everything. But I wanted to begin with I'm just so proud of how far I came in terms of deepening my friendships.
Mm,
And it's been an a joy to just feel true peace. I think always in each like some year in college, I would say I found friends. And then I would like hit another low and just get so confused. And I'd come out of it, no, I made good friends. And then I go back and then I graduate with this existential crisis about friendship because I just kind of like feel so utterly lost with myself and like the people around me. But
mm-hmm.
as I talk with you, Jessie, as I lived with my friends in my
That's huge.
apartment,
Mm-hmm.
it was, I found my people. Granted, I don't have like 20, 50 people around me, but I love that because I now know who I forgot. It was during my small group at church, and we talked about who are your 3 a.m. friends. And
Mm-hmm.
I am just so grateful that I can confidently say I know who my 3 a.m. friends are. And so
Jesse, and Jesse.
um sure, okay. We're gonna
Thank
come
you.
back to
That's
that.
all you
Just
need.
kidding.
I'm kidding.
No, but for real. Um, but so that's been a joy to be
Mm,
able to carry into my 2023 year. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. And then another one is kind of unexpected in a sense that I just didn't know what to expect, but moving back with family
yeah.
has been a crazy highlight, and I think
Mm-hmm.
such an essential piece to ending my 2022 season,
Yeah.
because I came back here knowing that if I wanted to pursue my passion, which is to love on TCKs and the family these TCKs come from, I need to fix myself. And that all starts with coming back to my family.
Mm,
So there's just been such good conversations, and just like being in it has been
mm-hmm.
beyond amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
And
sorry, and not to,
no,
sorry, just wanted to add like,
no.
even just from January to before you left and moved back to Texas, Yana, like you knew that this is something that God was calling you and tugging your
Right.
heart to do. And you knew what that meant. You meant like you knew that that meant hard conversations, like
Mm-hmm.
them seeing the real you, the college you, and maybe the you that hasn't changed since you were
Yeah.
in their house, right?
Right.
Like you knew that all was going to you couldn't escape it anymore.
Right.
And for you to choose that, because Yana is like a plop, here's my problems. I'm going to push it aside and sleep and then never come back to it again.
Dig it in a deep hole.
But really, and for you to choose to do that, like that was the hardest decision. Not, and it wasn't, obviously there's financial reasons. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to live back with your kid. But what it meant for you was so heavy, and you
Mm-hmm.
chose to do that. And I think that, like, I applaud you for that. And that
Mm-hmm.
I can tell has given you like confidence within you
Thank
because you're
you.
not running away anymore. Like
Right.
you're showing up,
No.
and it's been hard, but it's been good, right? I don't know. What would you say?
No, I completely agree. I think a couple days ago, my dad, we were talking about some things about the future, and he was like, I notice you actually have space in your heart and
That's
in your
huge.
mind to pursue growth. I didn't realize he was observing me that closely. I mean, obviously he's my dad, he did, but just it was so
Mm,
true. And even this Thanksgiving, my uncle was like, I see a drastic difference from last year. I saw you in Thanksgiving. You
mm,
actually look happy and
Mm,
relaxed. And I'm realizing, wow, I am. And I said this over and over again in multiple episodes, but I really never thought I'd get here it
yeah.
to be in this place. So it's just ooh, crazy highlights of this year and just tools that I will store in my toolbox and carry on into my 2020 year. And
Yeah.
so, yep, those are my highlights.
I know. I'm already like tearing up because I just
No.
got like a flash of like you and your year and seeing you like very closely week by week, getting to
Mm,
witness just how much God has restored not just your heart, but like your relationships with your
mm.
parents. I think, yeah, it's so special. It's so,
Don't cry.
sorry, I'm just very emotional today.
No, you're so good.
Um,
Do not apologize for your emotions.
yeah, Yana, it's just been such a cool process to see. So I just
Mm.
wanted to
Stop.
celebrate the highs with you.
No. Speaking of celebrate, it is Jessie's birthday today. So, guys, please say happy birthday to her in our Instagram. It is
Hope
her 25th birthday. You're so old.
Whee!
Halfway to 50. Just kidding.
Well, hopefully this will give me an excuse to be overly emotional because I'm a
Yes,
quarter
100%. You get the birthday pass.
century. Yeah, I get the birthday pass. So hopefully I get to be more emotional on this podcast.
Like
No, but
we've not
it
been
just
emotional.
whoosh, it just gets me, Yana, because really we've been walking side by side together this whole
Right.
year, and it's so cool to see God restore it, and
Mm,
continue to restore it, right? So
yeah.
I love your highlight. That's beautiful.
Oh.
Yes.
Your turn.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I shared it on my Instagram. So if you're friends with me or you follow me, feel free to read that. But really, my highlight this year is Jesus. Like
Mm,
finding stability in my faith again has been huge. Like just recentering and coming back to what really matters. But it's like no wonder why I was so lost last year. No wonder why I couldn't
mm,
find my way. Whew. And it's really because I didn't choose to take care of myself. I didn't choose to pursue my
mm,
relationship with God. And I think
right.
once I was able to kind of recenter that, it gave me so much more clarity. It gave me so much more direction for my life.
Mm,
And like I wanted to better myself. I wanted to pursue what was healthy for me. And I am just so proud of not only like how much growth I've made in letting myself like sit in my emotions and a lot
right.
of emotions that I thought were negative. Like, for example, I didn't want to feel sad. A
Right.
lot of the times I didn't want to feel angry or bitter or
Mm,
any of those emotions. Like, I didn't want to feel it. And I just had to, like, I had to
mm,
heal. And I think I'm proud of myself for just letting myself be in that and
mm,
finding Jesus again. Like, really, I just can't imagine doing my life without him.
mm.
So I think I should end my highlights there because I don't think I can continue.
No, but right back at you
Woo.
about that. I think I what I so cherish about our friendship is that we decided to choose Jesus finally
Yeah,
and say, why are we trying to do this by ourselves?
I
Obviously,
don't know.
something's going wrong. You keep saying, like, I cannot imagine life without Jesus. No, I was right there.
I mean,
And
we both were separately.
it was nothing but terror. We both decided, okay, we're gonna step out of our comfort zone. And we joined something called Alpha. And we were like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not gonna lie. I had a little bit of pride walking into that. I'm like, I'll probably have like stronger faith than most of them because it was focused towards people who just didn't believe God, period, kind
Mhm.
of.
Yeah.
I was blown away how much further away I was than people who were there because they were actually there because they were curious. Well, I was there kind of
Yeah.
just like, I guess I need to be a good person. And I
Well,
was
that reminds me. Remember, we were talking about this analogy where we're walking on a street. I think I shared this with you, but like I'm walking on a street and God was hand in hand with me, like
Mm-hmm.
walking this path together. And then slowly in between us, our jobs came in between that, then our
Mm,
relationships and our parents came, like all these priorities came before, and then suddenly God was like across the street but still walking the same direction, but like across the street. And I'm like, oh, you're good over there, okay, great, I'm going to keep walking.
right.
We're walking together, but like
Yes.
you're over there.
Mm,
And now like all of that has shifted its order. Like I'm walking hand in hand with God, like we're choosing to have that like
right.
desperateness for God, and then
Mm,
everything else is falling in place, right? Like
yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's crazy
it's
when you
real.
when you reprioritize your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, my highlight, my friendship, my family.
Yeah.
Like, what more could I ask for that to be restored? And
Mm-hmm.
um and that's all because I now know where to fall if I were
Yeah.
to ever fall again.
It's crazy. I mean, and a lot of the times, like I think, and this is something I caught myself doing a lot of the times last year, but I would try to find something in other people I
Hmm.
would try to fill my heart with things that could only be filled by God.
Yep.
And I would constantly be disappointed, or it wouldn't be enough, or it wouldn't um, meet my expectations. And I think I'm realizing like, no, Jess, like you were trying to fill that with different things, money, relationships, like
Hmm.
whatever.
Right.
But really, all the things that I was desperately seeking for was only found in God. And yeah, it's just been crazy that we both were able to realize that this year. And I
Yeah.
can tell that that's been a huge highlight for the both of us.
Hmm.
Lots of highs, but what's something that you don't want to repeat?
Oof. Too many.
What's something you're leaving behind in 2022?
Leaving behind. I will be honest. This is me being vulnerable. I don't know if it's going to be 100% because it's still a tendency I'm trying to break and a habit I'm trying to get rid of altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing the overarching like stronghold that has on me that has caused me to go through such a valley,
Mm-hmm.
self-inflicted, mind you, was complete isolation
Mm-hmm.
and thinking that I was better off alone. And I was almost, I knew how to handle it on my own. And it was better that way. And
Yeah.
when I mean complete isolation, it could be literally in terms of physically, but, or it could just be that I don't allow people in my life. I could like
Yeah.
literally meet
Mentally
them.
just block everyone out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I walked out of post grad thinking I was completely alone. And mind you, I was meeting people during that time still. Like I was meeting
Mm-hmm.
Jessie. And like we said in our kind of first few episodes, we talked about how we were meeting and we had no idea that
Mm-hmm.
both of us were going through such a difficult time. And it's because I told myself this lie that I was better off dealing with A, B, and C on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to just such utter brokenness in
Mm-hmm.
my heart and in my soul. My faith was pretty much like almost gone. Joy, what is that?
Yeah.
Um, and then so moving into 2023, that needs to go gone. Bye. Not today,
Nice.
Satan. Not ever. Because that's exactly where Satan is gonna corner you. It's like analogy that I always hear. I'm sure you guys all heard this, but it's like a lion pack.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lion pack. There's the lions, right? And then there's a group of, let's say, antelopes. And they're all together. And it's actually harder when you're together in community. It's harder for that lion to attack. But the moment this one little antelope trails away, that's exactly when they're going to catch the prey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, I chose to
Right.
walk away of this protection that God so freely gave to us, not taking that ever for granted and actually challenging myself to sit in the tension.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the long run, that's what will give me true peace of mind and in my heart. So,
Hmm.
and never again.
And I mean, like, and it's hard because, like, these are like, oh, what's something we'll never repeat? And really, when we're in our Enneagrams, like, when we're unhealthy, we tend to, like, for you, isolate. For me, like, not take care of myself.
Hmm.
Like, it's so easy to get in those habits because that's how we've coped our whole
Right.
life, right?
Right.
And I think, like, it's good that you're setting things in place in your life so
Mm.
that, you know, we are isolating ourselves less, like having
Mm-hmm.
solid friendships and people that will keep you accountable, check in on
Right.
you, and like plugging yourself into a community, as uncomfortable as that is at first, right? Like those are
Right.
things that um will help us with
Mm-hmm.
that. And it's good that you're like off to a good track with that,
Right.
moving forward. So that's good.
Hopefully. No. Amen. And faith.
And TBH, you cannot be in isolation anymore because I'll be bothering you either way. Even if you're
It's
mentally
true.
checked out, I will see right through it.
It's like, Yena Kim, come back now. I'm here. I'm here, I promise.
You're stuck with me. You can't leave me.
Also, my mom too. She's like, yeah, come out here. I'm like, uh
Sit down.
sit down. Let's talk. Really? Just kidding.
And
Anyway.
honestly, I was thinking like we are sharing like our highs or lows. A lot of it though, I feel like is transferring from 2021 because really 2022 has been just 180. Like our lives have completely changed from
No.
February.
Right.
So I think we're that where we started is just so big,
Mm,
and that buildup has been starting since COVID or even
right.
pre-COVID, right? So I think a lot of what we're sharing is from the aftermath of 2020 and 2021. But
Yeah.
yeah, would you say that
I
that's true for
agree.
you? Yeah.
It's just been it was a ticking bomb. We were a
Yeah.
ticking bomb ready to just completely be obliterated.
Well, and it exploded this year, right?
Yeah.
So this year is like picking up the
Yeah,
pieces and
exactly. And
actually
throwing
putting it
away
away.
pieces we probably don't ever need in our life.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah. Anyway,
Literally. So
how about you, Jessie?
yeah, I was going to say that something that I never want to repeat is neglecting taking care of myself, which is
Mm,
hard for me. Because I'm already like wired to always think about what do other people need? And I'm
mm-hmm,
like, no, just like what do you need? And that one of the two practical ways that I can take care of myself is journaling and exercising.
mm,
And when I think about it, ever since basically I was the age of 12, like I would journal every single day. Like I write one line in
girl,
Japanese to keep up my Japanese
you're crazy.
every single day. I've just been a journal gal. I feel like a
Love
lot of
that.
twos are journalers. But of course, my bump season, my season of low was 2021. And when I look back at it, I did not exercise. I was not motivated to exercise at all.
Mm,
And I did not journal for a whole year. And looking back, that's something that I've consistently had. Both things I've had since the age of 12, and I just didn't do it. I'm like, whoa, was I in a season of depression or like was something going on?
no, for
Because
real.
it might have been like a mild version of like low key depression if those two core things that help me like in my routine and stabilize myself, like if that was just completely out and it didn't affect me, like I mean obviously
No.
it didn't, it affected me greatly, but like I didn't notice it.
Mm-hmm,
That's huge.
right.
So
Especially the things that brought you joy,
yeah,
if that no longer is like helping you get there, or not helping you, like you just neglect it altogether,
yeah,
girl.
I could not get myself to exercise. Like, oh, someone would tell me like, hey, like let's work out together, or like, hi, you haven't worked out in a long time. I'd be like, like I just was not processing the burdens of my job, the
Mm,
burdens of what I was going through at that time, like in a healthy way. And yeah, I just am like, no, I am not going to do that again. No matter what season I am in, I need to journal. Like I
right.
need to
No,
have a space to process. I was not processing, I was
no.
pushing it aside.
Right.
Yeah, I was numbing myself. And that is like the weirdest, lukewarm, low season to be
No, and it's like I remember, I don't
in.
know where I saw it, but in this video, it's basically like we have all these things that we
Mhm.
are impacted by, positive and negative. And
Mhm.
it's like a basket of laundry, and you just like stuff it with, and at some point, there's just no more space. But
Mhm.
once in a while, you have to take one out, like, and
Yeah.
fold it,
Mhm.
and so that there you can create space for new things to come in. And essentially, you weren't creating space for you to move forward and grow
Mhm.
because you were neglecting and forgetting all of the things that you've already experienced and that heavily impacted you up to that point. I mean,
For sure.
did you even have time to process graduating during COVID season? That's crazy. At least I had
Mm.
some closure, but so
Mm.
many of you guys, as in your class, that
Mhm.
didn't have that. And that's not something to just look past. And so,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, kudos to you guys.
Well, I mean, I feel like everyone was just in, again, survival mode. And
Mm,
coming out of that, it's like, okay, let's sit in this. We have to sit in this in order to continue to move on with our lives and
right.
grow and find healing,
Mm-hmm.
like being back with our family, like
Right.
working on our friendships that might have drifted away. Like all those things
All the,
are,
yeah,
yeah, things that we have to face. And we're
right.
like, all right, let's put on our big girl pants and let's get going.
Let's
So
get going. Let's keep treading this road.
it's only uphill from here. So,
Exactly.
Yenna, tell
Right.
me, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
Yes. Oh, so much to look forward to, which honestly speaks for itself because I'm not one to look forward to things. But I genuinely look forward to this year. Hey, that sounded more depressing than it really means.
But
But
it kind of was accurate.
what do you want to do? Sleep. What do you want to do? Take a shower and sleep. What do you want to do? I want to eat and then sleep. But
Just woke up from like a fat nap.
oh,
You were
it's
like,
so
I took a
true.
fat nap
I
just
will
now.
say, I just like, okay, just a little tangent, but I got back from Thanksgiving and school started literally the next day. My body was like, what are you doing? You cannot handle it. Yesterday, I had to pray so hard because I was ready to just blow up on every single kid in my room. I was, oh goodness. Anyway, talking about looking things to look forward to. I kind of touched on it, but just taking care of my body more.
Mhm.
As in, okay, yes, Jessie is this boss queen going to the gym every day. She's
Thank
crazy.
you. Thank you.
And I'm over here like, hey, I breathe.
I
At least I walk in my school. We're a ginormous school. We just like
get my steps in,
at least I get like 7,000 steps in.
chasing kids down the hallway.
I use my diaphragm yelling at my kids. But aside from just exercising and movement, also the things I put in my body. I think
Mhm.
we both love food. But for me,
Ugh.
my love for food is also kind of rooted in try to not think about anything else. And so I just mindlessly stuff my face. And so I think now trying to actually partake in the food and noticing what makes me, I have a very sensitive stomach. So I need to figure out what's good for my stomach, what's not going to make me look like I cried for 500 hours the next day, even though I didn't, and all of those things. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to and
Mhm.
challenging myself to do.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, with isolation and neglecting, I was neglecting my house greatly. And then another thing I'm really looking forward to is traveling. I
Finally to
know. I just
Illinois. JK. Okay.
ugh,
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
we'll confront this another time. Just kidding. But I think having moving back with my family has given me even just that financial luxury to be able to invest in experiences now. which is something I didn't know I really missed because
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I traveled a lot. I mean, you did too, and we talked
Mm-hmm.
about this, but and when I was younger, I didn't realize how amazing that opportunity was until
Mm-hmm.
now that I have to stay put. Now, as teachers, we do have a little bit of that luxury that we do have a pretty good chunk of the year where we can do things like
Mm-hmm.
travel. So I would love to travel more, whether that's abroad. Abroad would be a dream,
A dream,
a dream.
if only.
And so, or just even going to visit people that I know around the States. Yes, that's including Illinois.
Will we ever record a live, like in-person
Oh
podcast?
my gosh, that would be
Probably
crazy.
never, because you will never come to me. So I'm just gonna have to come to you eventually.
Slowly hiding from the camera.
Yeah.
Um, oh no. And then a huge one, moving on. Me trying to
Moving on.
avoid the subject.
Moving on.
I knew this is a big challenge. But I am actually in the talks and slight preparation for possibly going back to grad school. It's crazy to even say that or even try to attempt it because ever since I started school, education was a not to be dramatic, but a very dreadful thing. I did not want to studying is just not my thing. Or I would tell myself that.
It's okay.
And there's a lot of hurt with that. So, but now that I'm in a place where I've been able to reconcile with things that are not just that are deeper than just education,
Mm-hmm.
I am in a healthier mindset and headspace where I can actually take on new information that I want to pursue. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm looking forward to possibly starting that this summer. So we'll see where that leads. And that'll be so cool. Which is
That's so
funny because
exciting.
I'll be attending the same college as my brother and my dad and my sister.
Yay!
So it'll be
The Kims
fun. The
take
Kims
over.
take over, but it'll be really good. Um, I'm really looking forward to all of those things and so much more that will come with 2023. But those are my top threes. How
I
about you,
love that,
Jessie?
Yana. I love
Yes,
that. All good things ahead. Like, oh, so much is changing.
I
Everything
know.
is an uphill. We've got this.
I know.
Like,
We hit rock bottom. We're coming back up. We're coming back up.
woo,
We're
slowly
climbing.
chugging at it. Yeah. No, I am excited for 2023. Like, it's gonna be good because I relooked at my adulting years. Like at first I was kind of depressed that I was like, wait, I'm in my seventh year in Illinois.
Right.
Ew. Like I've
Ew.
never lived in one place for more than 4 or 5 years. So I was like itching to move these past 2 years. Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what is wrong with me? I don't know how to just stay and just be still. Like,
Right.
so I treat this right now. I'm in my junior year of adulting.
Mm.
And when you put it that way, you're like, okay, freshman year is a little rough. You're getting used to it. Sophomore
Mm-hmm.
year, you're starting to build your roots. Junior year, awesome. Like
I love that
your
picture.
community. Yeah, you're like investing deeper into your relationships. Like that's truly how I feel this year.
Mm.
So when I think about it in that way, I'm like, oh my gosh, senior year is gonna be great. Like
I love it. Senior year is gonna be party it
senior
up.
year is gonna be great. Like it's just building off of how great junior year was. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, I can do this. So thinking about it that way makes me excited
I
to
love it.
finish off my junior year and start my senior year. Um, just again, traveling, which is something I always love to do.
I
But
know.
honestly, I've kind of loved just my routine.
I
Like
know.
this sounds so gross. I've always lived for the weekends, but
Yes.
lately, like I've enjoyed the weekdays as much as the weekends,
No, I get it.
which is kind
No,
of gross, but like
what's
so real
happening
for
to
me
us?
at this point in my life. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, on like Tuesday, I have my Bible study. And then on Thursday, I might call Yana. And then on Friday, we record. Like I get excited about my week. Um,
Right.
so continuing that.
Oh. I love how
I'm
I'm in
cringing
two
at
of
myself.
those week routines.
Yeah, notice you heard yehna twice. No, I have other friends too, guys.
She does. She does.
But last I was
I
gonna
might not.
say, well, no, we both no. I this relates to the next point. I was gonna
Okay.
say deepening the communities we stepped into. Because you and I both got plugged into a new church. Like
Right.
I showed up by myself. I didn't know anybody. I had no friends. Like, but I got plugged in. Like I'm plugged into two major communities and
Amazing.
it's still new. It's still like, all right, put yourself out there and like initiate conversations, like
Mm,
text your high school girls that you're in charge of or um but just being bold with that and being like, you know what, this is a season where I just got to put myself out there. And I know that God will take care of the rest. And trusting in that process has been so good because I'm seeing the fruits bit by bit, like week by week. And I'm just so excited to deepen that next year. And I'm sure you feel that way too about like your new church that you're plugged into. Hopefully, grad school will allow you to
yeah.
further root yourself in that
Right.
area, right? In that
Yes. I
community
yes, I
too. So,
completely agree. I know. I was being
yeah.
dramatic. I always say that. I should fix myself in my wording, but it's so true. I like to fix I need to fix myself.
I need to
Uh,
fix myself in general.
facts. But anyway,
Basically, be better.
it's a mantra that I've been really it's a toxic mantra I've been, repeating. JK. But and yeah, I completely agree with you with the deepening communities. I think also, I will be honest, when I got here, I just didn't want to deal with that. I didn't
Mhm.
want to like
And
go
that's
to a new
okay though.
church or whatever. And so I just like went with my family, which was fine. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I first of all, I want to say I have the best team. It's so good. The school, my coworkers, they've been so amazing. Anyway, but and so I've
Yeah.
just slowly been adjusting and I feel
Hmm.
like sometimes I get to rush myself, try to get it all
Yeah.
figured out right away.
Yeah.
And if it
Hmm.
doesn't work out the first time, I'm like, oh, bye. No, thank you. I don't want to try this ever again. But
You're like, I tried once. That's enough.
I know.
Yeah.
But my brother was like, you should come to my church once. And I think that I was like, okay, I'll go for my brother. And oh my goodness, I was wrecked that service. I bawled my eyes out and realized, wow, I didn't realize how much I missed like feeling connected with the word.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so anyway, I agree
I
with you.
know. I was gonna say next, like on our next episode or like in future episodes, we need to talk about like what does community mean to us and
Right.
like what does
Mm,
that look like? Because,
right.
I realize different people have different definitions of community. So
Right.
that'll be really interesting to talk
And
about.
even just
Yeah.
recognizing how important community is,
Oh
especially
yeah.
when we live in a culture, not just in the States, but now it's just like a growing culture of individualism
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to be independent, which is awesome. And I think we need to learn to stand on our own 2 feet,
Mm-hmm.
but not in the expense
Mm-hmm.
of being plugged in a community. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
a
A
their
whole
whole other
yes.
spiel. But
But I
yeah,
do want to say one more thing though on a lighter note.
yes.
Just like how you are trying to reach like a healthier eating lifestyle. I'm like,
Mhm.
girl, I am right with you. Like maybe we can keep each other accountable.
I yes.
um, I cannot not eat carbs because I love carbs. That's something I can't give up. However, I will continue to work out 5 to 6 times a week.
Girl,
I will
that's
like I
beyond
am
carbs.
so addicted to weightlifting and like toning myself. And I don't know why it took me so long to get
Wow.
into this, but I'm like, okay, that's gonna be my goal
I think you
too.
need to visit me so that we can like go to a gym at least like while you're here and then you can help me with all that. I am terrified of the gym.
Well, no, I'm an amateur too. I do
Well,
basic things.
no, I don't even know basic things. I barely know how to do those little mini dumbbells.
Wait, we should like to treat ourselves, do like a little fitness, like, oh, get like a 1 day personal trainer
I know,
to teach
and we
us
should
everything
go
we
to
need to know.
Pilates together. I've
Wait,
always wanted to
we
go.
went from weightlifting to
Sorry.
Pilates
Okay,
and then kickboxing, right?
as someone who has a terrible back and neck, Pilates must be really good, but it's like 45 minutes away from my house.
Oh
So if you
gosh.
come, it'll give me an actual excuse to go.
Well, why don't we make it just easier and you come to Illinois and we
Okay.
can drive 10 minutes? I'm kidding. I won't be bitter
She's not kidding.
anymore.
She will never
Anyway,
stop.
recap ends.
It's okay. Bye. Anyway, sorry. Keep going with your fitness
No,
journey. Oh,
that was
that
it.
was it.
Just that I'm gonna keep working out. I'm gonna do what I love doing
Oh my
and
goodness.
reach goals I
I
never thought I could
love it.
reach. And yeah,
Oh
be
my
in the
goodness.
best shape I can possibly be.
I cannot
And slowly start to
believe.
eat better.
Wait, honestly though, every week that I've gone, or more than once a week that I've gone to your house while I lived in Illinois, I think that's the healthiest I've ever eaten.
No, but isn't it because we were both like, oh, let's try to be bougie and like plant-based and
But also, a lot of the recipes are things you usually eat, though.
okay, that's true. Maybe I'm being too hard on
Yeah.
myself.
So, and also, it's not that carbs is a bad thing. It's just that my body doesn't really accept it very well in comparison to most people in my life. But that's on terrible stomach problems. But anyway,
Wait, no. Once we get into that, no, that's where we need to cut the podcast.
every conversation I have to talk about my bowel movement. So I won't do that. I'll try not to.
That's when we know we're going to recap our not recap. We're oh my gosh,
We're going to
today.
conclude.
We're going to wrap up our podcast. Thank you for listening. No, Yana, do your spiel.
Oh my goodness. But yes, I'm so looking forward to what's ahead. And just within this podcast and our conversation, and the other people will invite into the conversation and growing with you, Jessie. Are we like an old couple or something? Sorry. It just sounded like we were like 50-year-olds.
If we
Growing
don't find
older with
anyone,
you. Oh my goodness.
we'll have each other.
Guys, happy New Year, which is weird to say
New
because
Year.
it's still December, but happy New Year. And I really hope and pray for every one of you who are listening that you will take time to reflect on your highlights, something that you would probably do without stepping into a new year, and something you would look forward to walking into this new season. Yeah, praying that over you guys. And but the awkward part, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Instagram, follow our Spotify so that you know when the new episode comes up, and all of those good stuff. It would really mean a lot to us because that would just allow people to see that this is an actual thing that's happening. And yeah, thank you so much for your support for the past 2 months. We are
Thank you.
so utterly grateful that you guys would even take time to listen to our conversations. Yes, Jessie's waving with much gratitude on her face.
Well, I was also going to say, because I forgot it was like, this is our last episode, but I was going to say, guys, no matter what season you're in, like come as you are with God, like he will meet you where you're at. And
Right.
although this has been a positive year for Yenna and I, like, and we've had low seasons too. And I think it's okay. I just wanted to remind you guys, like, it's okay that where you're at, like, don't try to feel like you have to be somewhere else than where you are. Like, let yourself sit in it. But don't just stay there. Like, let
Right.
God come into your life and work in you. And things will just turn around for you.
Yeah,
Trust me.
you might be
So,
in your sophomore slump, just
yeah,
using that analogy, but
yeah.
don't be Yenna Kim. Don't sit there for the rest of your college career. Don't do that. But yes, please, yeah, don't feel the pressure to be, like I said, get with it right away. It takes time, and you guys are worth it. You guys are worth the time to take care of yourself. And God loves you guys so very, very much, even though that may be very difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all the good stuff. Oh, so good. I'm looking forward to more episodes of 2023 next time we meet. It will be officially the new year. It'll be so fun to just talk about what happened in the holidays and all of the fun stuff. But anyway, until then, have an awesome week, I guess, and we'll see you next time.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.